From the farm to the slaughterhouse. Well, I can't believe I used that. Welcome, and welcome back, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is the ultimate face-off. Hog Rider versus Super Hog Rider. You will see them go head-to-head, Hago. Yes, just the two of them out on the battlefield together, not a regular base, so stay tuned for that and make your predictions down in the comments as to how many hogs it takes to take down one max level Super Hog Rider. As today, as we warm up for this exciting face-off, we take a look at a very popular emerging attack here in Clash of Clans. That is the Queen Charge Hybrid Double Hog, Hog Squared, Twin Hog, whatever you want to call it. It's Exorcist from Tribe Gaming, using both Super Hogs and Hog Riders in the same attack. Now, if you just came for the Hog v Hog face-off, you're welcome to go ahead and miss all of the excitement and fast forward to 6:20 in today's episode to see how that goes down. But I wanted to take a look at what is a very popular attack strategy and really kind of question what is it that makes a good Hog Rider, Super Hog Rider, Twin Hog, yeah, you get the point, attack. So you'll notice the numbers seem to be pretty similar across most of the attacks I've seen. 10 or so hogs, about 7 Super Hog Riders, and that's where we need to look at the stats for each of these troops. Now, I will show the actual screens in a couple of minutes on the video here, but I just wanted to give an overview of a Super Hog Rider versus a regular Hog Rider, and then we have to look at the difference between, say, a Super Hog Rider and a Miner, because that really is what this feels like. It's a lot like a Queen Charge Hybrid with Hogs and Miners, but we've swapped in Super Hogs, and because of that, you have less room for the Hog Riders themselves as well. Now, a Hog Rider takes up 5 housing space. A Super Hog Rider takes up 12. A Miner takes up 6. So you can have exactly 1 for 2 Super Hog Riders to Miners if you're swapping out that style hybrid attack. But you'll also notice that in these attacks, there are fewer regular Hog Riders as well. Now, overall hit points, obviously the Super Hog wins by a wide margin because you have to add up the hit points, right? The Super Hog Rider has 1,700. That's the Hog at 1,000 and the Rider at 700. And you must get rid of that first 1,700 hit points in order to cause the dismounts. Once the dismount happens, then you've got 2 troops fighting for you. The Hog, of course, continues to target defenses, and the Rider is going to target the nearest building. So that also kind of mirrors the behavior of a Miner. Okay, the first attack is over, and let me just tell you my overall opinion. Well, okay, honestly, I'm undecided because I haven't tried this myself yet, but perhaps we will after this episode. We'll take a look at 10 Hogs, 7 Super Hogs in an attack, and we'll try to copy this army pretty much more or less exactly as Exorcist did it. You'll notice, of course, he brings all sorts of other utility troops, which perhaps is a little more high IQ in the Clash attacking realm than the average attacker, but it seems to be pretty consistent that all of the tribe guys are bringing these numbers or almost exactly the same. I saw either 10-7 Hog Super Hog or 9-7 because the player was bringing more utility troops. So overall, as we watch the mechanics of these attacks, it's pretty similar to everything we're used to seeing, right? Obviously, the blimp is coming in this time. You've got the Queen Charge, you've got the standard healers on her. And honestly, rather than breaking down the entire attack, because we've seen many Queen Charge style attacks, right? That's just what this is. It's just with different troops that come in during that main portion. And do I think that 1 Super Hog Rider is better than 2 Miners? Well, a Super Hog Rider is going to have a total of more hit points and is also going to do more damage per second. The max level Miner does 144 DPS, whereas just the Rider alone does 230 DPS, and the Hog, during its short lifespan, once it's suffered the loss of its Rider, does 60 damage per second. So it seems, mathematically speaking alone, that it makes much more sense to use Super Hog Riders than Miners. But, and it's a big but, we need to remember that the miners are going to tunnel under walls. They're going to continue their way through the base with reckless abandon, whereas the Super Hog Rider, once it's dismounted, could find itself stuck in these wall enclosures, especially in a base like this. So that is something to consider. Obviously, the rider is not going to be able to hop walls, and oftentimes I've noticed in my attacks gets separated. Like, notice the ones at the top left. They turned around and went left after the gold storage and the builder hut rather than following everybody else, because the wall was in their way and there was nothing they could do. This mechanic alone makes me really fearful of trying this attack, because it seems like my hogs are gonna get archer queened, right? They're gonna get stuck behind a wall again and again and again. But it seems that Tribe makes it work, and in the last few tournaments that they participated in, they had at least one player do one of these twin hog attacks every single time and emerge with a 3-star. So, you know, overall, pretty exciting. I will give it a try in Legend League, but the moment we've all been waiting for is approaching, and that is going to be the Hog versus Super Hog face-off. And yes, we did manage to get this mechanic to work in-game in a friendly challenge, and you could too if you really wanted to. But first things first, let's take a look at the numbers and how they break down for both of these units. The Hog Rider, here we go, 5 housing space, 200 damage per second, and 1,230 hit points. Now that's important to remember, because the Super Hog Rider does more DPS, has massive hit points, and of course, once detached from its trusty hog, the Rider is a formidable force, and this makes sense in the physics of the Clash universe. The Rider continues to do the same amount of damage when dismounted, and now the Hog attacks by itself. So now you temporarily have 290 damage per second and another 1,700 hit points, doubling the total hit points for the Super Hog Rider at max level to 3,400. So let's go, and I left the sound on for this one. Enjoy. As, well, yeah, get ready. One Hog Rider down. Bring in another Hog Rider, and looks like I'm sorry, the sounds, the sound effects they make. Okay, hold on. Now, oh, bacon. And there you go. 4 Hog Riders to take down 1 Super Hog. Now, as bonus footage, let's go ahead and show Super Hog versus Super Hog. I couldn't resist. I wanted to see. Now, I knew obviously they would get the first strikes in together, and they pretty much do, but watch this. The defending Super Hog wins the initial battle, then gets dismounted second, but what happens is, because he gets thrown backwards, he's out of the fight longer, and yes, the offensive Super Hog ends up with the victory. So some interesting Clash physics right there, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Super Hogs versus Super Hog Riders, get out there. I will give them a try as well. Thank you for sticking around all the way to the end of today's episode. Now get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, week, month, and you be kind to other people, animals, and the planet, and I hope to see all of you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, listen, I can make the Hog Rider sound. I can do it. Ready? Ready? Listen, Galadon. Ready?